Yeah, there's been a lot of things that's been going on with a lot of drama for your mama in Colorado. Here we go. So I'm not 100% sure. I do know that Pat McAfee talked about it. Let me find that video instead. Xavier Smith. Xavier Smith is the guy's name. Okay, so he either had a chance to transfer, stay at Colorado, or go to the NFL draft. And so um Deion Sanders basically told Xavier Smith to transfer because he wasn't good enough to play for Colorado. Okay. So he's a wide receiver, Xavier Smith. Um, and so basically, Shador and his father, Deion, have been beefing with Xavier Smith on Twitter. This doesn't look good for your brand. And Coach Prime and Shador Sanders are too idiotic to realize it. So Coach Prime said, folks don't hate because you don't really know. They admire you in a negative way. They realize they can't be you, think like you, talk like you, or walk in your shoes. That bothers them. Always smile when you see them because that always makes them admire you so much more in a negative way. So somebody replied to the tweet saying, tell your son, stop acting like you're the coldest out there, and then put out a 4-8 season. Deion reposted that saying he will be a top 5 pick. Where yo son going? LOLOL. I got time today. LOLOL. You want to know why somebody's telling Coach Prime's son to stop acting like he's the coldest? Because Shador came out there and called his former teammate mid. Quote in a tweet talking about Xavier Smith saying, I don't even remember him, TBH. Bro had to be very mid at best. They're beefing over former players on a team. That doesn't look good. And I think Shador has since deleted the tweet because I can't find it. It must have been a reply. Yeah, here it is. So The Athletic posted a tweet saying Deion Sanders has recommended Xavier Smith hit the transfer portal like many others. He didn't. During spring practices, Smith felt like more an extra in the background of a reality show. It said frustration set in before he eventually left for Austin Peay. So it says that Xavier Smith said, I was actually getting mad, like tears coming from my eyes, or tears coming to my eyes, because, bro, you never even tried to get to know me. Xavier Smith recalls Deion Sanders telling him he should enter the spring transfer portal. Xavier Smith also commented saying he was destroying guys' confidence and belief in themselves the way he did it. It could have been done with a little bit more compassion. So, during that tweet from The Athletic, Shador Sanders retweeted saying, I don't even remember him, TBH. Bro had to be very mid at best. Like, that's shocking. Why is the quarterback of a 4-8 team, very overrated, going out calling out their former teammates for calling out poor coaching? I understand it's his father, but that's still not a good look on you. Calling your former teammate mid at best, pretending like you don't remember him, that's your fault if you don't remember him. And if you're lying, saying, pretending that you don't remember him, then shame on you, Shador Sanders. And shame on you, Deion, for accepting this awful behavior from not only yourself, but your own son, but also the current team that you coach and your son plays for. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing to the NCAA. It is embarrassing to the rest of the teams in the Big 12. It is embarrassing to all of the teams that you coach for, and this should not be happening. There's no wonder that EA didn't want you on the cover. There's no wonder that EA didn't want you inside of the video game. It is embarrassing that this has to happen the way that it is for your son to be calling out your former teammates. That is unbelievable. It is shocking. And how many times do I have to say the word embarrassing? What is a synonym for embarrassing? Nobody. I don't care. Anybody should not even in the slightest be calling out their former teammates unless they committed a crime. This is only going to hurt the team. People are not going to want to transfer. They're going to want to lose all of these commits. All of the 2 and 3 star commits that Dion is pulling in because he's not even trying. All Dion cares about is trying to get his 2 sons and Travis Hunter into the NFL. Then he's going to grab an NFL head coaching job by only being super mid at coaching at the Colorado Big 12/Pac-12 football level. You want to be mid? Let's see mid. Deion Sanders is going to show you mid in college. Then he's going to move on to the NFL with his sons. And then he's going to be very mid at there too. So you want to talk about mid? Let's talk about mid. It's embarrassing. Sorry about that. Just needed to get that off my chest real quick. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. A lot of drama. A lot of drama for your mamas. Anyways, let's get back to the comments. ETA says, hey, Asher, am I late? About 30 minutes. Dion has always been a douchebag for real. Colorado is like the last place I'd want to play, like the Kardashians and NCAA. That rhymes. That rhymed, Jacob. But yeah, I agree. It's a lot of divas. It's like 2014 WWE. A lot of divas. Only my wrestling friends will get that. Sure, it's awesome to chill and talk football, but being a wrestler is your dream if you were given a once in a lifetime opportunity. So take and go with it. Have a good night. I appreciate it, Bob. Dion is leaving soon as Travis Hunter and his son go in the draft. Exactly. Hey, Trasher, I'm busy tonight, so can't stay for a while. Just want to tell you that we support you on whatever you want to do. If you want my opinion, I don't care how much you stream. Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of people that's been wanting me to stream a lot lately. But as I said, not now. We'll still be streaming every day, every other day from right now. But in the future, it'll probably have to be, every other day to every other 2 days to maybe once a week. But that'll be 6 months to a year down the line. I don't know. I'm different. I grew up with tough coaching. This current generation of players are used to being coddled. I kind of see it in the middle of that. I think coaches in the past were too hard. I think coaches today are too easy. I don't mind someone calling you out for not being coachable. There's a difference in destroying a kid's confidence than going out and coaching the way that you should be. You don't have to be a hard coach to be a good coach. That needs to be known. You don't need to be a hard coach to be a good one. Colorado and Kansas City Chiefs have to have the most toxic locker rooms in sports. If you're ass, you should be called out. If you're good, then you're good. But I mean, nobody should be coming out on Twitter and calling their former teammate mid because they're talking about past issues with the team. He wasn't even talking about his playing experience. He was just talking about how his head coach was destroying his belief and confidence in himself and his former teammates. And for his son, who flexes his watch after cutting a deficit from 24 after going 4-8, decides to come out there and call his former teammate mid. No, I know you're not defending. I'm just, furthering my comment. Look at Cormani's comment from earlier. Cormani McLean. What's his Twitter? Oh, I found it. He hasn't posted anything on Twitter since February of last year. So I don't know where to look for him. If I'm a Colorado player, I'm not talking to any big three players at all. Yeah, stay away from, I guess, what, Shador, Travis Hunter, and Shiloh, I guess. I don't know. A lot of drama. The one above that. Deion Sanders is overrated as a coach. Last season when Deion, because I was a fan of Deion when he was at Jacksonville or Jackson State in Mississippi, but now that he's at Colorado, he's showing his true colors as a person. It is completely wrong the way that they handled the situation. Go watch Cormani go out and be better than they think. Well, Xavier Smith is the player that we're talking about that was having the issues. I don't know if Cormani McClain did too, but Xavier Smith is currently in the NFL now. Deion will not be able to do anything good at a high level because of his ego. The funniest thing Colorado moment was the Oregon antics before and then getting their asses whooped. Excuse the language. No need to apologize. I 100% agree. They're divas. The whole team is built. You know what? You know what this Colorado team reminds me of? You know what this Colorado team reminds me of? It reminds me of a bad version of the 2005 USC team. Because if you're gonna be all diva-ish, if you're gonna have an attitude, you may as well back that up. And backing up a poor ass attitude is not gonna be a 4-8 record. Flashing your watch when you're losing by 24, shouting out your halftime during halftime, your own merch rather than speaking with your team and then going into the second half and then getting blown out and losing. Shame on the Colorado football team. I know we're a small channel, but if Deion were to come after me, I don't care. There's a lot of people that agree with me out there. It's a bunch of divas. This situation has made me lose my respect for Shador and Deion. Cormani needs to sit down somewhere and sign with Jackson State. I doubt Shador Sanders will be a first round pick, let alone top 5 pick, Titer77 says. They say Cormani was missing meetings and other sessions. As an Atlanta Falcons fan, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets a job here. I agree on that. ESPN is going to get on Deion's nuts for some reason, though. Used to like Shador, but damn. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let's change conversations. Let's talk about some other stuff in football. Um, what is today? Friday? Yeah, then that means I got to head out in about I don't know, 40 something minutes or so. But I do want to say that Florida picked up the number one inside offensive lineman from the transfer portal. Yeah, Florida football earns commitment from former USC Trojans inside offensive lineman. He was the number one IOL in the country from the transfer portal. Jason Zandamela, a 6'3", 306-pound offensive lineman, the number one in the transfer portal in the country. That's one step closer to Florida being good again. What do you mean change topics? I love talking about beef. I do too, but I plan on uploading that clip of the rant and reading the comments to the channel, and I don't want the video to run too long. How's your day going, big man? It's been pretty good. Only been awake about, I don't know, 45 minutes. Colorado should have been a 2-10 team last season with close wins and a bad TCU team and Colorado State team, which it wasn't good. Colorado State's beaten Colorado again this year. You know what? Let's look at Colorado's schedule. Let's look at Colorado's schedule together. Get it up on the stream real quick. I can find the website that I use. All right. Colorado football schedule. North Dakota State, one of the greatest teams in FCS. What did they do last year? Oh, 11-4, made the playoffs, made it all the way to the semifinals, lost in double overtime to Montana. I have a very big trusting in North Dakota State beating Colorado. I've said this from the offseason of last season. This is going to be the biggest upset of week 1. And then they go to Nebraska. I could very well see Nebraska beating Colorado. Then you travel to Colorado State. If they can play as good as they did last season, I can see Colorado State winning this game too. Baylor, that's a possible win. If they improve from last season, maybe they can win. Oh, wow. We got somebody angry. Uncle Tub Gaming. Y'all big mad lol, a bunch of hating ass people because your team is trash. My team had a better record than Colorado, so I don't want to. Okay. So if you want to complain about us complaining about divas and people with awful attitudes in college football, then go ahead. But I got a lot of comments to sift through. How many likes are we at 18? Can we get to 25? Who does Ricky Pearsall remind you of currently in the NFL? Um, I don't know. I really don't know. There was one that I thought of like the other day, but I can't remember his name. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Cooper Kupp. A little shifty, pasty white wide receiver. Birthdays beating Colorado. Boise State fan? That's awesome. Our the co-host of this these streams when he's here, he's a Boise State fan. By the way, we beaten Colorado. You're right, is overrated and he sucks at coaching. NDSU's beaten Colorado. That's what I'm saying. Can't wait till football season. I'm willing to bet my team will shock some people because they're always predicting them to be bad. Who's your football team, Derek? NDSU trash. They're like a blue blood of FCS football. Speaking of the Colorado State team, it was crazy to see the safety who hit one of those big players get all those death threats. It was really nobody should be receiving death threats in football. Like if you're sending death threats because somebody got injured on football, shame on you. You should no longer be a fan of football. You no longer deserve the happiness of watching football. If you're sending death threats to college kids for an accidental injury, shame on you. If you're sending death threats to players. I'm in an angry mood today after talking about that. NDSU should be in college football 26. What's up, Bryce? Have you heard anything about the realism in the game so far? Not anything specifically. I just know that it is. Gus does always have UCF ready to play. UT, like if the cannon goes off and stuff. Are you talking UT as an ultimate team? Should you speak for yourself? My team, the preseason favorite to win it all. NDSU doesn't play teams that have spread offenses like what they have. They already beat the next two teams. UCF isn't good. K-State is all right. They have a chance to go 8-5. Colorado's not going 8-5. They're not going 8-5. They're probably going to go 5-7 at best. 6-6 at best. Okay, we'll go 6-6. West Virginia. I'm a child for what? Oh, he's talking about people sending death threats. Looking forward to Trey. Yeah, don't send death threats, people. You can talk football all day, but let's not be. You mean biased? That's the whole thing about football, is being biased. Every college football fan is biased. I don't care if you're a commentator, announcer, analyst, coach. You're going to be biased. At some degree, you're going to be biased. Whether you've heard things on the news, used to play for the team that used to be your team's rival, you're going to be biased. Or you're a fan. Every fan is biased to a certain degree. But K-State, that's another loss. Arizona, that's another loss. Cincinnati could be a win. Texas Tech could be a win. Utah's another loss. Kansas would be close. I have Kansas winning and I have Oklahoma State winning. I see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see possibly 5 wins for Colorado next season at most. But I've been trashed on this channel for my season predictions before. So if you want to complain, then too bad, because I don't care. I want to do a dynasty in a region that has a huge high school presence, thinking about somewhere in the Southeast or a Texas, Oklahoma school. Colorado's going 1-11. I picked them to go 4-8 last year. Only predicted them to win 3.5 games last year, won 9. I think they will be good team this year. I think they could win 8 games this year before maybe 9 again with a bowl. What team are you talking about? West Virginia? Really, Texas Tech isn't good. Utah would be the only challenge. Kansas and Oklahoma State. That's what I'm saying. Texas Tech isn't good. There's a big chance that that's going to be a win for Colorado. Is Texas Tech? Are you even listening? Yeah, and then they lost in the first round. He was talking about West Virginia. No, not 8-5. Colorado's going 5-7. Hope Colorado goes 0-12. Doesn't matter. What did Florida do? We're not talking about Florida. I don't care. I don't understand why some people can predict if a team does good or bad, and then somebody has to go to the last measure and then attack the team that they cheer for. That doesn't make any sense to Colorado football. If we're sitting here and we're discussing Colorado's record, and then you want to bring up Florida, I don't care about Florida's record this second. We're talking about Colorado. Way to go to come out and hit me in the low-hanging fruit